When the lights dimmed inside the packed Britain's Got Talent 2025 theater, nobody in the audience expected that the next performer would create one of the most unforgettable auditions in the history of the show. A seemingly shy contestant, dressed simply and walking nervously onto the stage, introduced himself in a soft, unassuming voice. The judges, Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, Alicia Dixon, and Bruno Tonioli, gave polite nods, already accustomed to hopefuls claiming they had something different to show. Simon, with his trademark skeptical expression, leaned back in his chair as the singer explained that he had spent years singing in small pubs, karaoke nights, and even subway stations but never felt brave enough to share his true voice on a global stage. His demeanor was so unassuming that the entire audience, including the judges, assumed he was just another nervous amateur who would struggle through a forgettable performance. Yet within seconds of his performance starting, the room began to sense that something unusual was about to unfold. The singer deliberately sang out of tune for the first few bars, his voice shaky and uncertain. Groans from the crowd were audible, and even Simon leaned forward with his hand hovering dangerously close to the dreaded red buzzer. It looked like yet another failed audition, but what no one realized was that the contestant was playing one of the boldest tricks in talent show history. Just as Simon prepared to stop the act, the singer's expression shifted. His posture straightened, his eyes burned with a quiet confidence, and then suddenly, he unleashed a voice so powerful, so commanding, and so breathtaking that the entire arena gasped. The faltering, broken vocals of the opening seconds had been a calculated deception. What followed was a masterclass in vocal control, passion, and performance. The notes soared with a clarity and depth that rivaled some of the greatest voices to ever grace the BGT stage. Audience members jumped to their feet in disbelief, their earlier doubt transforming into thunderous cheers. Amanda and Alicia exchanged wide-eyed glances, realizing they had just witnessed one of the most dramatic turnarounds in BGT history. Even Simon, known for his tough exterior and rare moments of being caught off guard, looked stunned. He leaned forward, his jaw visibly dropping as the singer hit impossible high notes with ease. When the performance reached its climax, blending emotion and technical brilliance, Simon was shaking his head, not in disapproval, but in astonishment at how completely he had been fooled. This was not a nervous amateur. This was a performer who had orchestrated an opening act of deliberate weakness to magnify the shock of his true ability. By the final note, the entire theater was standing, roaring in ovation, and Simon himself rose to his feet, clapping in disbelief. When the music ended, the reaction was unlike anything seen before on BGT. Amanda had tears in her eyes, explaining that the performance had given her goosebumps from start to finish. Bruno, ever the expressive judge, leapt from his chair and declared that the act was genius theater, as well as world-class singing. Alicia shook her head, laughing in awe, admitting that she had been completely convinced by the shaky start and never saw the transformation coming. But it was Simon's response that everyone was waiting for. Known for his brutal honesty and his ability to see through stage gimmicks, Simon admitted that he had been fooled completely. He told the contestant, "In all my years of judging talent shows, I don't think I've ever been tricked like that. You walked on this stage pretending to be average, and then you revealed you're extraordinary." His words carried weight, not just as praise, but as recognition of a rare kind of showmanship that combined risk, strategy, and breathtaking talent. The crowd erupted again, chanting the contestant's name, and in that moment, it was clear that a new star had been born. The singer, holding back tears, explained that his entire plan had been to remind people never to judge too quickly, a sentiment that resonated deeply with viewers watching both inside the theater and later at home. As the episode aired and clips of the performance began circulating online, millions wanted to know more about the singer who had fooled Simon Cowell so brilliantly. Interviews and social media posts soon revealed his backstory. He had grown up in a modest household, with a childhood filled with music but also hardship. Singing had always been his passion, but years of rejection, criticism, and financial struggles had eroded his confidence. At times, he considered giving up on his dream entirely. Instead of large stages, he sang on street corners and at small local events, always receiving warm appreciation but never a true breakthrough. The decision to fake weakness in his audition was born from frustration with how often people dismissed him at first sight. He wanted to challenge the very system of judgment, both on stage and in life, that assumes people's worth before giving them a real chance. His story touched a nerve with audiences across the world, because it wasn't just about talent, it was about resilience, strategy, and the courage to take risks. By choosing to fool Simon, he made his audition not only about singing but about delivering a powerful life lesson. Within hours of airing, the audition became a viral phenomenon. On YouTube, the video amassed millions of views, with comments flooding in from fans worldwide praising the creativity, bravery, and brilliance of the performance. Social media platforms exploded with hashtags like #FooledSimon and #BGT2025, as viewers debated whether this was the smartest audition strategy ever seen. Articles across entertainment outlets hailed it as the performance that redefined first impressions, and a wake-up call for never underestimating hidden talent. Fans from every corner of the globe felt personally connected to the singer's story, seeing in him a reflection of their own struggles to be recognized, respected, and valued. Teachers shared the clip with students as an example of perseverance, while motivational speakers highlighted it as proof that true talent will always shine through no matter how it's packaged. The singer himself expressed shock at the overwhelming attention, admitting that he never expected to make such an impact. For BGT, the moment became a defining highlight of the season, setting the bar impossibly high for future contestants. For Simon Cowell, it became a rare moment of vulnerability, proof that even the most seasoned judge can be caught off guard by raw genius. As the competition progressed, the singer continued to deliver breathtaking performances, each time proving that his initial audition was not a one-time trick but the beginning of a legendary journey. Week after week, he impressed with new song choices, vocal versatility, and emotional depth. But no matter how brilliant his later performances were, audiences always remembered the audition that had fooled Simon Cowell. It became a story told over and over again, not just as entertainment but as inspiration. Teachers, parents, and leaders used it as a metaphor: never underestimate someone, never judge too quickly, and remember that greatness often hides behind humility. By the time the finals arrived, the singer was no longer just a contestant, he was a symbol of defiance against doubt and prejudice. Whether he won the competition or not, his place in BGT history was secure. That one audition, carefully staged and brilliantly executed, would be remembered as the complete story of the singer who fooled Simon Cowell, reminding millions that true talent does not just surprise the ears, it transforms the heart.